Well, you made it back to the worm, I see. And it was a rough morning. I got up to eat my usual breakfast of French toast, and I didn't have any bread. Can you believe the problems I have out here? It was kind of terrifying, but got on the four-wheeler, then got on the car and drove out and got bread, just because I have to have French toast. And it's going to be a sweater today. It's kind of the first few days that are, for me, really hot, like in the mid-80s and sunny and supposed to be pretty still. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to get worked on today, but these pads look great. I'm ready to start. It's time to start building. And look, when you stand on them, you don't even sink in. Isn't that something? Yeah, I did a pretty good job. I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but they're very square and concretey. So we got to cut some log rounds to set on here. Run down to the cedar clear cut I did earlier. Grab some of those logs in the trailer and bring them up here. So I'll have to figure out how high I want this thing off the ground, and then, you know, obviously cut them a little bit longer for the lower spots. And I was at Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, back to Lowe's, back to Menards. Anyway, did that a lot the last few days. I swear if I could drop a nuke on these bugs, I would. Anyway, I was at the building stores and I couldn't hook up with Tito the last couple days, so I bought a little something. I figure it's about time I get one of these. I think it was only like 50 bucks. Actually, I don't think I've ever used one of these before, but it seems like the obvious tool for the job. One of these laser levels. Perfect. Even comes with a little clip-on. It's actually a pretty nice little clip-on stand. I'll have to cut all 9 logs, and then I'm thinking what I could do is put an old camera tripod next to it, put this on top. I think I should be able to mark a circle all the way around all 9 of the logs. At least that's what I'm thinking for now. Alright, so let's go grab those logs. Oh yeah, we got this log here too. That's probably 3 or 4 feet. Not feet long, but feet for the cabin. So that's 4. We need 5 more. I'll just go grab 2 of those short logs down there. Tomorrow we'll put the frame for the floor together, the floor joists and everything. Cut up some of these these massive boards. I kind of like having this pile of 1.5 bys just laying here. That's just a pile of infinite possibilities. Isn't that beautiful? This thing's big compared to all the other stuff I build out here. I think I'm always astounded when I start building. Like when I built this thing, just couldn't believe how much lumber it takes to build something little like that. You know, you think of the house or wherever you live, and just the amount of lumber that's in one house is, you'd just be glad that you didn't have to make all that lumber yourself, or you'd be living in a tent like me. Alright, how many we need? 5, so get at least 2 out of each one of these. Yeah, I like these curved ones. Just want to make sure there's no, ooh man, that is a big spider. It's a wolf spider. Eggs. Just want to make sure there's no rot in it. Yeah, this looks good. That's 4. This one's a little bit huger, but had to work. Oh, look at all those good bugs. I don't have my bug containers with me, unfortunately. I'll be back. You know what? I should probably use that forked log back there. That would look really cool in the middle of the cabin as like the middle foot. It comes up and splits into 2 branches, don't you think? I think we should get them. Yeah, I just tried the laser. I think that's made for indoors, not outside in direct sunlight. You can only see it like 3 feet or something, so I'll have to get all these logs roughly cut and set them out there and then do it. I mean, this is one time a year the days are so long. I'll have to do it at like midnight or something. But I can get them close with the string level for now. This is not a great way to do this, but it's just rough. 21 and a half. Well, I think the shortest one was 15 and the tallest one was like 21. That's not that big a difference. It sure looks like way bigger difference than that. It looks like this sucker's in a hole and that one's way up there, but I guess it's only a few inches. I'm trying to figure out which spot to put this forked log. So I don't actually know the layout of this place yet. I think the door is going to have to be on this side though. So it'll be on the 12-foot side versus the 17-foot side because the roof's going to go this way. You know, like that. And if that's the case, if the roof is this way, then you'll be walking in. I don't know where the door will be, somewhere on this wall. If you're walking in there, there'll be steps which would cover up this pad. So you won't see that forked log. I don't know, I guess eventually I'd like to have a porch there, like a little screened in porch or something. So yeah, let's put the fork there. And then this is the easiest side of the building to see. So if I got any curved logs, I'll try to put them in the corners, curving like that, just so it looks a little weird. Big thing is to try to cut them as flat as possible. You only need one side to be flat, that'll go down. And then of course the top will get cut off tonight or in the morning or something with the laser. Ooh, I'm so excited to try that laser out. If you're careful, it'll come out pretty flat. It might be off just a little bit one way or the other. So when it's standing up, it could be just tipped a tiny bit, but that I don't think that's going to make any difference. When I say I don't think it's going to make any difference, I know it's not going to make any difference because that's how I've done everything out here. 6. Is that gonna work? So this one comes this way, butts up, gets a plate, and the rest just tee in. I think that will work as long as the frame can sit on here. Don't you think it's worth it? I think it'll look kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure there are a million other places I could put it and use it, but I think that'll look sweet as a, what do they call that part of the building? The upholder? Holder operator? It's one of those two. Oh man, this is borderline fun. I bet you wish you were here doing this right now, don't you? This looks so satisfying. It is. It's great. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. I don't think I'm going to be able to see all the way across here yet, but I can certainly go from one to the next. And I think this is level enough. It doesn't go, I thought it went like 180 degrees. It doesn't go that wide, but I think I can turn this without tweaking the whole thing. And the inside just swivels. Oh yeah, I can actually see it clear enough all the way to the middle one, so that's like 12 feet. Oh, is that shining in your eyes? Oh well. Not super bright, but that's 20 feet away. If I waited another half an hour, it'd be easy to see. Question is, can I get it back lined up? Pretty freaking good. Check that out. This is the coolest thing ever. I guess in theory you should only have to move the tripod, but you should put it in 3 positions, right? Because it doesn't quite get 180 degrees of each log. But I had obstacles. In account of my obstacles, I had to move it 4 times. The worst one was right here for some reason. From one line to the next, it was off by maybe 1/8 of an inch. The rest of them are like, if you get it set, it's like projecting into the cut you just made and then wrapping the rest of the way around the log. But I don't know why this one was off. Maybe as I was cutting it, I was leaning the log or something. It's ringworm. 1/8 of an inch, give me a break. As long as it's to the nearest foot or 2, that's all that matters. And even that doesn't matter that much. You know you're doing it just right when you see the laser line on the back of the blade there. So I'm gonna chop these off with the chainsaw, and instead of trying to go all the way through and having the possibility of coming out a little low or something, you might not even be able to see the way I do it, but I'm gonna cut, if I cut from this side, I'm gonna cut up a little bit, go from this side, cut up a little bit, kind of like you're sharpening a pencil. And then I can use the chainsaw to brush the top of it back down to flat. I got it figured out now. Just cut part way through, roll it, part way through, roll it. Make sure the middle of it is the high spot so that you can just brush it down. It works great. Wow, this was a good idea. This thing is solid. Most often in the crotch like that, they're all rotty right in the middle. This thing is solid as can be. It's really pretty. That's the perfect cabin foot, overflowing with character. I love it. Wish I had another 8 of those. I think those came out nicely, don't you? I mean, as flat as you can get with a beam of light, which, I mean, there's gravity, there's probably gravitational lensing going on. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that's it's a problem when you're building. Light does not go in a straight path. I mean, you know, from its perspective, it goes in a straight path, but from yours, never mind, it'll be close enough. All right, so we got to get boards for a square, a rectangle around this. Oh, well, and then the floor joists are going to go this way. Those are 12 feet. And then I wanted to stick another big fat board underneath those going this direction, which will give them extra support so they're not going a full 12 feet all the way across. Actually, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. Well, let's throw the frame on there and figure it out later. Maybe go with a couple of these for the outside. Those are like even trimmed down. Those would be 2x12s. That should be plenty. God, they're heavy. Wish you could smell it. It smells so amazing. There's one bug that I've been trying to catch for, I don't know, a month and a half. I've only seen it twice. It's like that disco bug I showed you guys a picture of with like brilliant green scales. Although this is more looks like a waspy kind of thing. I'm not giving up till I get one more of them, and it's going to rain in like an hour, so hopefully we go inside and look at it under the microscope. Oh, baby. Got him, got him. Ha 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 ha! Got it. Holy cow, it's so crazy looking. Life goal. Check. Just knocking them off today. Barely balance on there. Better than having to carry it. Ooh. Those two are for the short sides, those are 12s, so we need 4 boards. And I guess they're going to be butt up, so we need 2 8.5 9-footers. I think I caught one of these 10 feet. Oh no, is it the one at the very bottom of the pile? Ooh. This is when it's nice to have noise canceling headphones. Yeah. I can't even pick them up. You know what? I should rip them right here because I got 2 stumps I could do it on. Now, believe it or not, I know nothing about chainsaws and chains from reading anything or learning from somebody else. It's just kind of trial or error on my own. And what I found is if you're trying to rip straight lines, like I'm going to rip the edges of the board off and I'm going to rip right down the middle, a full chisel chain's always faster, it's more aggressive. Semi-chisel chain, I think, tends to keep a straighter line. Full chisel is the cut it's making here is basically square on top. Semi-chisel, if you look at the cut, it's more like this. And I find that profile going through the wood, it just kind of keeps itself in a line a lot better. So it might take a little bit longer to cut, but straighter line and it stays sharper longer. You know, now that I think of it, if I'm going to rip these big fat boards in half for the floor joists, I might as well rip these other fatties for the frame while I'm here. My favorite is to use 2 stumps as sawhorses when you're ripping a lot of boards because it's super sturdy and you can cut right through it. You're not going to hurt anything, just the top of the stump. Not like you're cutting through a sawhorse or something. I think I'm just going to eyeball these and guess for the middle of it because it's not perfectly straight, so there's not much to measure off of. Got a rumbling. I don't think it's my stomach. Oh, baby. That was the fastest cooking I've ever done. It just got black. One of those good summer storms. Look at this. Sitting down in the middle of the day. Oh boy. Well, I hope I zipped up my tent this morning. We just got an alert on my phone, said gust to 50 miles an hour. And as soon as it stopped raining, I opened the windows and it's like, went out there and checked the thermostat. It said like in the 60s. The temperature dropped 10 or 15 degrees just in a few minutes. Feels great. Hopefully it knocked down some of the mosquitoes too, because they've been horrible the last couple days. Alright, if I can fish it out. Oh my gosh, how am I going to find him? Oh, I can see it glowing. Looks like I'm getting ready to go fly fishing. Man, the color is just crazy. And the eyes are so bizarre. Not only are they not round, they're not even oval, they're like bean shaped or something. That's so cool. That is amazing. His antenna and his top of his head. Gosh, look how the eyes wrap around like that. Best I can figure is some kind of sweat bee. That is pretty much for sure. I'm not sure which one it is though. Green sweat bee? Golden sweat bee? I don't know. Got a couple more weird ones to look at here while it rains. Should be done raining in a few minutes. As always, super weird. Look at that abdomen. By the way, I know nothing about entomology. I mean, I studied biology in college, but that was a long time ago and didn't do anything with insects. I just think they're so fascinating to look at. I think that's an ovipositor on the back of it and not a stinger. Although, man, it sure is sharp. Some insects use those to, sometimes they'll eat a hole in the wood or something in a log and then use that to put their eggs way down inside. Man, I don't know, that sucker's really sharp. I'll have to see if I can figure out what that is sometime. Okay. I looked at a couple more. I've got maybe 30 more different kind of bugs that I haven't even looked at yet. But look at that. Just as I say it, the sun comes out. Back to it, I guess. Oh, nothing like a good break to look at bugs, you know what I mean? Now it feels like fall out here. And it's raining again. Guess I might as well cut these to length before I haul them over there. The fewer times you gotta pick them up, the better. Actually, that rain feels kind of good going through my t-shirt. Oh, this is going to be painful to cut 2 feet off one of these nice boards, but I'll use it for something, I guess. 8.5, 8.5. Look at that big thing. It's so sad. Luckily, it's big enough that there's definitely some uses I can find for it. This is pretty ridiculous. This is just the outside of the floor frame. I don't think it needs to be quite that big, but you know, there's no sense in trimming off a few inches and just letting it go to waste. Getting exciting. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can almost feel the air conditioning and heat, shade in there. Nothing like getting a whole bunch of sap right in your butt crack. You know what I mean? You feeling that? You've done that before? You haven't done that before? I wouldn't. I mean, unless you're into it. I don't know what you're into. You do what you want to. This is obscenely big. I mean, I know it's twice the size of the man cave, but when you say it laid out like that, it's massive. You know, if I put nothing else in here, I could probably fit a pool table or a ping pong table. That'd be sweet. Oh, that'd be sweet. You could play it off the walls. All right, stop being an idiot. All right, let's see. So all these feet are level, and all these boards, I'm not cutting the bottoms off. I'm leaving them live like that. So everywhere the board touches a foot, it's gonna have to be notched out. And I just have to find the skinniest board this way, and then I'll notch them all the same. Like, yeah, looks like it's gonna be this guy. That should probably be 9. Yeah, 9. I could look up on a table what size these should be. I don't want to. I don't expect anybody to understand why that is, but it's like the one time in your life you could be out in the middle of the woods. As long as you don't post it to YouTube, nobody's watching. You can just use your brain to the best of your ability and see what you can build. So this is a 9-foot span, and the floor joists are going to hook into it this way. The other boards, the boards on that side are like 2x12s or 2x13s. This one's closer to that, and then this one's only 9. I think I'm going to pull this one out and put something bigger in. Don't know if it's necessary. I mean, if you think about it, this thing is going to be built 100% with wet wood. It's going to be really heavy. And I mean, the majority of the weight should be on the corners and on the middle, so out here in the middle of the wall shouldn't make that big a difference. But you know, if you got the lumber, why not go big? I've only cut a few inches off of this board, so this is just like it would have been otherwise. So it's not getting wasted. Let's just put a bigger one in there. That's it. We need it to be heavier. Well, here we go again. I'm back on the very first notch. Well, I gotta start eating some more donuts or brownies or something. I mean kale. Kale and arugula. That's what really puts the pounds on. Yep. Even this thing, just pull it tight and latch it up. This is one of those cheap tool belts from Harbor Freight, I think. I think it was only like 30 bucks or something. It's all real leather. Been using it for a couple of years and nothing's broke yet. But it's funny. It has to be made in another country for Americans. So I mean, I'm not a small dude, but this belt goes as tight as possible to stay up. So I am what other countries think of as a slim American, which is kind of nice. I think I have a big problem. Yep, I sure do. Somehow this footing's off like 6 inches and that one's off quite a bit too. I don't know what the deal is. I measured them all several times. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to dig this up and pour a new footing, maybe 2 new footings. I mean, the good thing is the pad's quite a bit wider than the stumps. I guess maybe I'll throw the frame together, get it all squared up, and see if I can adjust everything to make it fit. I think it might be off too much though. Man, that'd be a huge bummer. Guess I'll just notch these corners out extra wide, and then if I need to, could always get another stump with more of a lean or something. If I don't know how far off this is going to be. know what? There's no sense in making this the first square thing I've built. Let's make sure it has enough character. I'm just gonna scoot these around where I want them. It'll be out of square by a couple inches on the diagonal, but you know, I don't really care. I've actually been pretty surprised with every single thing I've built out here. Almost, I don't think anything's been square because I just build it on stumps usually as a foundation. Get the whole thing together, never run into a problem. I don't know. I guess if you're putting tile on the floor or something, you might notice a difference, but I'm not planning to tile this, so I'm just gonna make it the shape I want to. I'm making this side 4 inches longer. Not that one, just this one. It's an awful lot of twisting and shaking and tweaking to get this thing just right. Look at that. 16 penny coated nails. I'd say this is the right thing for the job. Unlike how I usually do this. This was $2. Full box. Can't beat it. Well, I mean, I guess $1.50 would be, nah, that wouldn't be any better. That reminds me of that, was that SNL or something? I can't remember that sketch where the guy's like, oh, I got this great idea. You know that video series, 5-minute abs? You ready for this? 4-minute abs. The guy says, yeah, but what if somebody comes up with 3-minute abs? Are you kidding? You can't get a good ab workout in 3 minutes. Oh yeah, before I put these joists on, I gotta figure out, I want to put another board lengthwise right through the middle of this. That's what this round is for here. So go this way, and then the joists don't have to go 12 feet across, it's only 6 feet. So regardless of the order I do it, I'm gonna have to trim out, do the same thing again, get all these joists together, find the narrowest one, and then trim a little chunk out of the center of these so they're all the same thickness and they'll sit on that, whatever you call that board. I was gonna call it a stringer. I don't think that's it. Maybe it is. Let's call it a stringer. I'm gonna figure out how to attach that thing. And there's a lot of thinking to do. Oh man. These would be long enough to the 1/4 inch, although the ends aren't squared yet. I'm gonna try it. It's either that or the next size up is like 1.5 feet longer, and I'm not wasting that stuff. Oh baby, please be long enough, please be long. Yes. Got about 1/2 inch to just nip these straight. And then I gotta figure out how to sink these down. I don't know how many inches. 6 or 8 inches. So I'll have to cut this one off and figure out the ends. Then the joist can sit like this on top. Hey, everybody that's been watching my channel forever has heard this 1,000 times, that I just like to keep pointing it out because I know I get new viewers every now and then. It's a lovely idea to watch this channel for entertainment. Don't watch it for building advice or how-tos. I can imagine watching this, watch me build something like this from the ground up, from trees all the way to a house. May come across that, you know, I'm a good builder or I know what I'm doing. That's not necessarily the case. I'm very confident in doing things the way I want to do them. I don't worry about little stuff too much. There's a lot of this I don't really know how to do. I've never done anything like it, and I just go through real quick and say, well, what's the best thing that comes to mind? What seems to be the best way to do this from the little bit of information I have stored in my brain, and I do it. So one thing you can learn from this channel is it's totally fine to do things like you want. I'm not saying break any building codes or anything. I'm not talking about building your own house or putting a hot tub on your 3rd story walk up. I do know from experience that a lot of people, no, I don't know about a lot of people, you know, it always seems that way, but people are really bothered to say, why'd you do it this way? Why didn't you do it that way? And I just say, because either didn't know how or I didn't want to. Those are the only options. Sometimes I'll leave a board completely out of like framing a wall. When I framed the walls for the man cave, there was no bottom plate on the walls. So when I stood them up, the bottoms of the studs were just flopping around. That's not how you normally do it. It worked out just fine. You know, you should probably, not probably, you should definitely, if you're doing something like this, use joist hangers for the floor joists. I'm not going to. I don't want to. The good thing is, I'm the only person that's ever going to use this or really even see it. So, you know, if the thing falls apart, I think it's good. You know, I learned something from it. Every time I build something from the top of my head and it doesn't work out right, I'm prepared to say, oh yeah, I should probably do that different next time. This is a great way to learn. Just, you know, don't take any advice from any of the crap you see here. Gosh, that is great. Press fit. Alright, gotta find the narrowest one. I'm getting tired already. That one. That one. 8 inches. 7 inches. Looks like it's 7 inches. Oh, I felt some drops. It certainly doesn't look unstormy back there. Probably gonna get our afternoon storm. Okay, let's see, what kind of weird stuff can we do here? The stringer goes like this. Got to drop it down 7 inches. I could either just notch this out, come down 7 inches and notch it, or, you know, it'd be kind of cool, I don't know if I'd be able to do it very well, is just cut this, just this piece out right here, down 7 inches. It's kind of hard to get the tip of the chainsaw in there like that and keep a straight line going down. Plus, when you get to the bottom of the cut, you know, the end of the bar is curved, so I'd have to curve the end of the stringer to fit in there. I think I'm up for the challenge. I think that'd be just kind of fun to do. Huh, how am I going to get 7 here? That's going to be a trick. Maybe this is a bad idea. Actually, it doesn't make any difference, because if I do this and I can't get it to work out right, I'm just going to end up cutting the rest of this off anyway. Alright, let's do it. 7 down. I gotta drop this 7. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that's perfect. I guess I should have screwed that in first, but that's right on. Oh baby, look at that. I have to go down a fraction of an inch. No, that's pretty good. That's exact. Hot damn. Nice. Might as well screw these together just so I don't bump it and have it fall apart. And because it's what it says to do in the manual, in the ringworm cabin manual. Yeah, sucks it right together, just like they say. Y'all ready for this? You think they'll just flop right in there? Holy cow, this is great. The old ringworm tester. Perfect. This place is going to be stout. That is worth the struggle. I think that's great. It's so fun after you do all the mind-numbingly difficult work, heavy work, just to take all this stuff and plop it in place like a normal person. Oh, great Googles to the Moogles, man. I'm one short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8. I'm only working on this till Tito shows up. He hasn't been up here since the fall or the winter. He's been working his butt off. I guess I have to make one more here that I forgot. Hopefully I can get that done before he walks up the hill. Because man, it's hard to concentrate with that and not ball around. Real hard. I always like to leave them sticking out just a little bit. You know, leave yourself some room for error. Are you stuck?
In life.
You know what that means. I'm done. All right, put this one board in. Oh boy.
There, now I'll rev it. That was cheesy.
What'd you find?
A cool space that's been cleared out.
Yeah, the one in the corner, right? Not the other. Do you see them both? So the one where I cut all the cedars, the big pile of cedars.
I drove down that one you were telling me.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet spot. Some schmuck already cleared it out.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. I just needed the trees.
Really?
That's where all those pine trees came from.
I was gonna say, did you take down a big one?
3.
I was gonna say, those are the 3 I like to look at.
Well, you can look at it. They're right over there. You can look at them. They're still in a pile. I thought they were probably blocking your view, so
That was my favorite part of that.
there's not a lot you can do about it now.
No, not at all.
I mean, they will grow back.
You know, up here you have the civilization.
It's amazing to call this civilized, but yeah. Well, I thought maybe you'd want to build where I cut those trees in that clearing down there.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it, definitely. I mean, it's already cleared. There's some nice stumps to start off of.
Yeah. Of the whole property, that's the most secluded, I guess, that corner.
Probably be good for all the activities I do.
What? Yeah, I was going to ask you which activities, but I just assume you don't tell me and keep them down in that corner of the property.
Don't ask, don't tell.
All right, that'll do it. Oh, baby, it's so exciting. I mean, I've spent the last couple of years living in a tent because that's what I want to do more than anything, is to be in a tent. But seeing this thing sitting like this, I can't wait for this winter. Can't wait till it's 20 below zero, really good wind chill, dumping snow, and just sitting there by a fire, by the fire, propane, whatever it ends up being. Maybe with a big furry dog. It just sounds amazing. I can't wait. But until next week, we'll have to wait. I gotta put the floorboards on in a few days. T and I are gonna hang out. There's some stuff that needs bullet holes in it and you know whatnot. There's some pieces of meat around that don't seem quite charred enough, so we're gonna take care of that, and then I'll get back to building. So thanks for watching. It's going fast. 2 days to what, 2.5, 3 months or something to make all the lumber. 2 days to put this together. My head, there would be like my head would explode, but that's what I keep the helmet on for. All right, see you soon.